Welcome to Poseidon Shark Week 2024. Today I want to take a minute and talk about probably one of my most memorable shark moments that I've had as a captain. And it came in actually during Shark Week of 2022. Early on coming into Shark Week, we got a phone call about a young man that was going through brain cancer. He had several treatments and he had been left paralyzed down the right side of his body. And his one big aspiration in life was to catch a shark. It just so happened the timing was the time with the Shark Week of 2022. So myself and one of our captains at the time, we teamed up and said we're going to give it all we got for this young man. We set sail off the dock that evening around 6 o'clock for an evening charter. We went out, loaded for bear, everything we could think of that we could possibly need, and went to one of the hottest spots that we could think of for sharks, and we got set up. And when the night started, we started out with a big bait, really big bait. We're gonna take this opportunity to try to get it out. We set it out on a big bait, on a big 80 wide rod and reel. Something you see those guys tuna fishing, marlin fishing with. Set it up as a flat line straight out the back of the boat. We set out some smaller rods and some smaller tackle, and we attacked the night. We went into it. We'd been lucky enough to hook up a couple small sharks along the way. He had some family along with him, some sisters, his mother, his father, so on and so forth. But that big shark had been eluding us. And they took those opportunities, fight those little sharks and stuff along the way, and we gave it in. 10 o'clock rolls around that night. We're starting to slow down. We're talking about it, talking about another move. What are we gonna do? And then we finally made that decision that, all right, it's time to reel up the lines, make a move. And myself and the other captain, we started clearing the lines on the boat, and literally I'm holding the last small rod in my hand, pulling the last bait, unhooking it, getting ready to toss it, and out of the corner of my ear I hear the bait clicker sounding on the big rod, on the 80 wide. And we look over, the rod is doubled up, it's singing, and we're like, all right, this is it. It's game time. It's that game time decision that happens in fishing over and over and over again, where it's like, we're gonna give up, time to move, whatever it is, and just all of a sudden, there it goes. And we grab the rod, we free up. It's a big shark. We know right away that it's a big shark. We free up the anchor, hook up our anchor ball, toss our anchor, let the boat go, so that myself and the other captain can really fully engage. Because what it took for this particular fight to even occur was, I hold the rod, we give him the rod, we lock in the rod best that we could. I'm holding the rod, the captain's with me, he's on the other side, he's helping crank the reel, and we're actually having to hold this big 80 wide almost sideways and try to fight it, which is a tough enough battle fighting a shark when you're by yourself, but trying to make all this happen. And he's getting his cranks off as much as he can. We're fighting the shark. He's not giving up. We're not giving up. This fight goes on for well over an hour, back and forth. We know it's a big shark. We finally get an opportunity to see the shark. We realize it's a 7-foot plus shark. And next thing we know, the shark sees the boat. It takes a run to the point that it blows out the drag on the reel. The reel goes free spinning. And we're talking a big reel, a big 80 wide reel. And that line goes out free spooling, so now it's to the point like we can't let pressure. So between myself holding the rod, trying to manage the reel, he's fighting the shark, and then we fought this shark all the way up to the boat. It ended as picturesque as you could. We was able to get the shark up, we was able to get a tail wrap on the shark, get the shark up to the boat to get those memorable pictures. And to this day, it's just one of those fights of it's all odds were against everything, right? We're going out to target one species. We want the biggest we can get of the species. He's obviously in a battle for his life and what he has to deal with in his life. And now he steps up and takes on the battle with a huge shark on a big rod. And it threw everything at us. God threw everything at us that night that it possibly could do. And to know we ended it, and not only did we land the shark, we did it during Shark Week. We accomplished the mission. It's one of those situations that leaves you feeling good about life and reminds you one of the biggest pleasures of doing this job is to come out and share those experiences with people, enjoy the outdoors, and love exactly what it gives us to us every day. And I've probably caught hundreds or thousands of sharks over time. Had some phenomenal times doing all of them, but for whatever reason, that one has stuck with me since the day it occurred. And the events I can still picture in my mind now. Like I can close my eyes with like a movie screen and actually see what's going on, see what's happening, seeing the shark come alongside the boat, seeing it take off, trying to get the tail wrap. Like each event is this thing going over and over in my mind. It's one of those things that just repetitively plays like a movie reel for me. So that is probably my most memorable shark experience. It was easily a 7-foot shark, a big sandbar shark that we caught out of the bay. So might not have been the biggest, but definitely one of the most memorable.